So a match that always brings fireworks to the Sevens circuit is just around the corner. Fiji versus New Zealand, a part of the group stage in Pool C. Both teams need this win, New Zealand more so, as Fiji pretty much have confirmed their spot in the quarterfinals. But in this preview, we'll be looking through at the key players for these two sides, also their previous fixtures, and then at the end a prediction of who we think will be getting themselves the victory. We will start with Fiji. Their previous fixtures, the first match of Pool C, they found themselves head-to-head with the Samoans, and in that contest, Fiji getting themselves the win, 14 points to 7. It was close, but Fiji still keeping that record going of being able to beat the Samoans. Then their next game, it was up against France, and when we talk about games being close, they don't get much closer than that one. Going to golden point time, and then Tario Vailawa scoring the try for the Fijians almost within 30 seconds of kickoff, managing to win the game for the Fijians. 26 points to 21. He's been an absolutely phenomenal super sub for the Fijians throughout this competition, getting them out of trouble when they have been struggling. But I should mention, at one point in that game, France were ahead 21 points to 7. Fiji then answered back with 2 tries of their own to bring it back level so that extra time could take place. So they have got that ability of fighting back, which could be a crucial skill that they need here up against New Zealand if the Kiwis start well. But for New Zealand, for their overall Sevens campaign, it did not start well. They lost to France 33 points to 17. They had a very slow start in that contest, found themselves in a similar position to what Fiji were up against France. The difference being New Zealand weren't able to stop the momentum that France created, and also weren't able to score enough tries in the process as well. So they lost that game 33 points to 17. Their next contest, just like their opposition in this game, Fiji, their second game went to golden point. It was New Zealand versus Samoa. Anytime those two sides play, it is always extremely close, but New Zealand, again, managing to steal that win right in the final moments. And I have to say, that was an extremely fatiguing game for both teams involved. First half going around 10 minutes, 5 minutes almost of extra time was used before the Kiwis were able to cross the try line. So you wonder how much that has taken out of New Zealand compared to Fiji, who got that win in the 30 seconds. But now we are up to that stage of key players for the Fijians. I've already mentioned him, Tario Vailawa. The fact that anytime he makes his way onto the field, Fiji's game just goes from 100% to 150. He scores last minute tries to win them games. He also sets up tries, so he is definitely a key player in this contest. I'm very curious though to know whether they start him, whether they have him coming off the bench as once again that impact player. Alongside him, when you look at that Fijian side, Filippo Bukayaro as well as Kiminelli Rasaku are the other two players I am firmly watching throughout this game up against New Zealand. They've got plenty of pace. They have the ability to break the line, and their offloading game is something up against France that really created the opportunities to get back into the fixture for New Zealand. Leroy Carter. It was so important for New Zealand to get the ball to him in their last game up against Samoa, and when they did, the tries started flowing. He got himself 2 try assists throughout the match, also from some brilliant offloading. So he is definitely one to watch out for in this game up against Fiji. Another player to watch out for New Zealand, I would go with Narohi Makavi Black. He was having quite a playmaker role in that game up against the Samoans. We didn't see a huge amount of him in the game prior up against France. He wasn't actually in the starting lineup for that contest, but it just seemed when he was out there that New Zealand had a bit more control of the game. He was getting pretty frustrated with the referee in the last contest, and of course you cannot afford to have that in Sevens. You could get marched forward, you could get a yellow card, but if he can keep that under control here, I think he will be very dangerous up against the Flying Fijians. And the last player to watch out for New Zealand, I would go with Moses Leo. He's been more of an impact player when he comes off the bench, and that extra bit of pace that he offers, he is extremely hard to stop. So I'm going with him because of that speed and because, of course, of his try-scoring abilities. But now we are up to that stage of a prediction. Fiji currently are sitting 2 wins from 2, whereas New Zealand, they are sitting 1 win from 2, and this is a crucial game for them to make their way through to the next stage of the Perth Sevens. If they were to lose this fixture, more than likely it would be either France or Samoa who take that third place spot away from New Zealand. So New Zealand need at least 1 point here, which would mean even if they were to lose, they have to be within 7. And I honestly feel like that is something that could easily happen here. I am going to say Fiji win this game 19 points to 14. I think New Zealand, they have had moments where they've looked very strong. The other side of things is they could actually score maybe 4 or 5 tries in this game, but Fiji's defense in that first game up against the Samoans really impressed me. Also, when France was scoring tries, it was more of Fiji's errors rather than France's attack. So that is why I'm saying New Zealand will only score the 2 tries and Fiji will walk away with the victory by the 5 points. I do thank you all very much for tuning in. The game will be kicking off at 6:25 p.m. New Zealand time. We are going to be here doing the commentary on the channel, so be sure to hit that subscribe button. Let me know your score predictions in the comments down below, and I will see you all for the next one.